Hi, my name is Chelsea from Teaching in Pearls, and welcome to my PREVIVOR vlogs. So if you watch my normal vlogs, this is definitely a stray away from my typical teacher content, but it is obviously impacting my life and my teaching because I've had to miss some school and will have to miss some school in the future. So I just wanted to keep everybody updated on what's been going on, and watching vlogs similar to this one has been one of my favorite methods of coping with all of this news. I've binged everything that's possibly out there, so I figured why not add my own voice to the mixture. So my family has a history of breast cancer, and I was diagnosed with BRCA2. How we found this out is that my great-grandma had breast cancer, my grandma had breast cancer, which isn't completely crazy because they were in the age range where it's common for women to get it. Not common, but more common. But then last July 2021, my dad was diagnosed with breast cancer, and men don't really get breast cancer unless it is genetic. So my dad tested positive for BRCA2, and they wanted the rest of the family to test. I'm positive. I know one of my cousins got tested, my female cousin, and she was positive. I was gonna test last August, but I didn't end up going through with it because the genetics person just didn't email me back, and then I got really busy with school, and my mental health was just not great at the end of 2021, so I'm actually very glad that it worked out this way and I didn't get this news till I had gotten my mental health better under control, because in December, late December, I started Wellbutrin, which has helped me immensely with my mental health. But simultaneously, I was going through this process of getting tested, which was a whole mess. If you've watched my teaching vlogs, I talked about it in there, but long story short, basically my gynecologist recommended me to be tested, which was covered by my insurance, which is great. And I did a spit sample, which was apparently labeled incorrectly. They didn't take it. So then I had a mobile blood draw come to my house, and they were worried that wasn't submitted correctly, but that one went through. Good and bad news. Good news is it went through. Bad news is it came back that I am BRCA2 positive. And so at first I wasn't too worried about it at all. I really didn't care at all. I didn't think it was a big deal. My mindset was, okay, well, once I'm done having kids, I'll just get my ovaries removed and get a breast job or something. And that was kind of my mindset, just very casual about it, kind of like it is what it is type of mindset. And suddenly I was scheduling doctor's appointments with all these different people at the big hospital that I'm working with right now. The first one I went to was a genetic counseling appointment, and I didn't leave that one feeling too overwhelmed or stressed. The main thing I took from that one was, yes, you're gonna wanna remove your ovaries as soon as you can. Yes, you're gonna wanna remove the breast tissue as soon as you can. But the main concern that was new was also you have the option to do IVF to remove the BRCA gene from the embryos. Not remove it, but to choose embryos that aren't carriers of the BRCA gene. Because since I am a carrier, any child that I have has a 50% chance of getting it from me, because that's how I got it from my dad, and that's how he got it from his mom, and so on and so forth. So we had no idea that that was gonna be a topic of conversation, so that was obviously a thought process, and that's more what I was stressed about, was the fact that insurance will not provide for that, and can we afford it? Is it worth the investment if it's a 50-50 chance? Things like that. So that's really all I was concerned about. Then I had my next doctor's appointment, which was it was a high-risk screening, still in the genetics department, but with a high-risk person. And that one was scarier. We realized that, I realized because I didn't fully understand the paperwork that was sent to me when I got tested for BRCA, but my risk of breast cancer is 89%, so basically 90%. So kind of most likely inevitable that I will get it at some point. I don't really need to be concerned about it till I'm like 37, because you really need to be concerned once you're 10 years younger than the youngest person who had breast cancer. And one of my family members was 47, so I need to be really concerned at 37. However, it could strike at any moment. I'm very susceptible to it. My risk of ovarian cancer is like 40%, which isn't crazy, but it's a lot higher than normal people. Normal people are in the like, I think it's like the 1% range or something. And then I also have a higher risk for skin cancer. So lots of things to think about, but my high-risk screening doctor is really concerned about the potential of breast cancer. So from her, I was referred to 3 more appointments. One of them I'm doing tomorrow. It's an MRI with contrast. What is it called? Called it like, that was a good catch. Okay, Bandit just knocked my camera over. I guess it's just called an MRI with contrast. The paperwork says something else, but maybe it says like bilateral MRI with contrast. I don't know. Anyways, basically I have to go in for an MRI tomorrow. I've never had one before, but apparently it's gonna take like an hour, and they're gonna inject some dye into my veins to bring contrast when I am being seen through the machine. And they're only looking at this region of me tomorrow. So that is just to screen for anything that could be there now, which there shouldn't be anything there now, so I'm not really concerned about that. And then in 2 weeks, I have 2 appointments in the same day. I have to go to the breast surgeon, and I have to go to the gynecology oncologist, so the person who will be helping me with the ovarian cancer portion of this. The high-risk screening doctor really was pretty adamant that the quicker we can get out the breast tissue, the better. Otherwise, they want me to be on tamoxifen, is that what it's called? Hold on. Tamoxifen is what it's called. And it reduces your risk to like, it reduces 65% of the risk. It's 1 pill a day for 5 years. However, there's some like pretty intense side effects, and you can't get pregnant on it. And obviously we don't have kids yet, so I can't really start tamoxifen till after I'm done having kids. I just found the rates. My chance of ovarian is not 40%, actually it's better. It's only 29%, so 10% lower, so that is fabulous. But anyways, if I don't want to get the double mastectomy now, then I need to consider tamoxifen. I need to go back every 6 months for a breast MRI until I turn 30, which is next summer in 2023. Then I will go in between mammograms and MRIs. They won't give me a mammogram till I'm 30 because your tissue is something. I don't know what they said, but I have a lot of whatever that tissue is, and so anyways, I'm not a candidate for mammograms right now, which is why I have to do the breast MRI. And I have to go to gynecology appointments more frequently to get screened. And I also scheduled a dermatology appointment, but they couldn't give me until June, which is crazy, and there I'll be getting a full body scan for the skin cancer risk. So I left that appointment feeling more stressed about the potential of cancer and it happening sooner than I think, and like, how am I gonna manage all of this? And if I wait to get a double mastectomy till I have kids, am I gonna want to be out of commission while I'm trying to raise my kids and not be able to move my arms? You know, like all these things are going through my head. And that's when I started like going through the rabbit hole of research, and honestly that's when I found the whole PREVIVOR community and the breasties community. I've joined their Facebook group, and I've been following a lot of Instagram accounts like Paige PREVIVOR and the I can't remember her name right now, but the girl from The Bachelorette, or the girl from The Bachelor, who underwent a double mastectomy, preventative double mastectomy, and learned about that route and how much more common it really is than you'd think. I mean, it's not common, but as far as people who get diagnosed with this gene, it's a pretty common choice. So I'm meeting with the surgeon in 2 weeks, but I think we're gonna be discussing the route of getting the preventative double mastectomy now versus waiting till after I'm done having kids, because now we're gonna go through the IVF process to have kids, which is gonna obviously potentially take longer than it would to conceive naturally and all that stuff. So I don't really want to carry around a ticking time bomb on my body while we're trying to go through the whole IVF process, because also, I mean, your body is not supposed to be stressed when you're going through that process, and knowing that this is happening to me or could happen will obviously increase my stress load. So I've kind of weighed the pros and cons of getting the preventative mastectomy. The major con obviously is it's gonna be super painful and it's gonna be really inconvenient. I'm probably gonna have to take time off work, but I would have to do that whether I got it now or 10 years from now. I'd rather recover while I don't have other people to take care of, and I can just have Brandon and my mom and my family take care of me and not worry about taking care of me and my kids or whatever. And the only real huge con thing that I'll miss out on is I won't be able to breastfeed when I have kids, but I don't know, I've never really, that's never been something that I like desperately am looking forward to, so I don't feel like I have a huge loss. Maybe I'll feel different when I'm pregnant, but that's like the main loss I'll have, other than the loss of time and inconvenience, which would have happened anyways. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have my MRI tomorrow. I'm trying to keep it all in one place because, you know, well, you might not know if you don't know me, but I have ADHD, which is one of the reasons I'm on Wellbutrin. And so keeping this all in one place is making me feel a little bit better about not losing important things. I'm also very grateful. Number one, my insurance has covered almost everything. I have had to pay my copay at pretty much every doctor's appointment, but I will not have to pay for the MRI. I did not have to pay for genetic testing. If I undergo the double mastectomy, I will not have to pay for that or the reconstruction. So feeling very good about that. Feeling grateful for science and advancements that are able to fight the cancer before it eventually fights me. And the team that I'm working with at the hospital, I'm working with Christ Hospital in Cincinnati, they're so knowledgeable. They've been with tons of other people who have this same thing. I'm not like a new patient case. Like, they're very familiar with this gene and the side effects and the routes that I can take. So I'm feeling pretty good about everything, kind of stressed about the next couple appointments that I have, but overall that's pretty much what is going on with me so far. I'll keep you guys updated in future vlogs. I'm gonna take you guys to my MRI tomorrow and see how that goes, and then in the next vlogs I will take you to my next appointments with the breast surgeon and with the gynecology oncologist. So 4 p.m. day before my MRI, and I'm so anxious. I feel like I'm going to throw up on myself. Here for my MRI, and I have almost cried like 3 times because parking is so confusing, because every time I come here I have to park somewhere different, and I hate dealing with this, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this, and yeah, so this sucks. Hello. Okay, post MRI, feeling a lot better than I did before. Did not end up crying anymore after that. And actually never fully cried, just almost cried. It wasn't that bad. We waited in a waiting room for probably 15 minutes, and then I got called back, went back with the technician who did my MRI, and she had me fill out some paperwork, and then that's so funny that everything I'm getting done is at the same hospital, but I have to fill out the same paperwork every time. You'd think that then somehow could be done electronically and just like be kept on file. I mean, it is kept on file, so I don't know. Anyways, it's just weird, but whatever. Filled out the paperwork, and then she gave me my gowns to put on, and I'm an idiot. So she was like, okay, so I'm gonna give you these 2 pieces. One of them is gonna open in the front, and then one of them is gonna be like a bottom piece that's gonna open in the back. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm thinking one of them's like a shirt and one of them's like a skirt. Well, I get them and they're both shirts, and I don't see that till I'm already in the room. So I'm like, I guess I have to fashion this into a skirt. So I put the one on like a shirt that opens in the front, and then I fashioned the other one into a skirt that's like hanging on the ground. I walk out there to her, I'm like, is this right? And she's like, oh, no, it's not. So she goes in with me to my room, and she's like, actually, you just wear it like you overlap them. One opens this way, one opens that way. And I'm just an idiot. So she said it made her weak, which was great. Then she had to put this IV in my arm. She tried my right arm, but when she tried to push the contrast into my blood like was pushing it back. It was like not taking it for some reason, but when she did it in my left arm, then it worked. But now both my arms are sore, but whatever. Then we went into the MRI. It's very strange. It's like laying flat on a bed, but my chest region was hanging into like an open area, and that's what they're scanning. So get all set up. It actually wasn't very uncomfortable at all. I didn't have trouble holding still. She put headphones on me and let me listen to Sirius radio, so I was just listening to some pop music. And it took about 30 minutes in the MRI. They were all like 3 to 9 minute scans, it seemed like, because she would say like, okay, this next scan's gonna be 3 minutes, and then when it started it would be super loud, but in between it was like just a high-pitched buzzing noise. But it really wasn't bad. It wasn't painful or anything. Like, even laying on the bed wasn't bad. And yeah, then I got dressed and she walked me out, and that was that. So it really wasn't a bad experience at all. Kind of embarrassing that I wore the garments wrong, but she got a laugh out of it, and I was able to laugh at it, and now I know for the future. So we will be be all good next time. It's only about 2 hours later, just got a call from the hospital and got the results back, and my results are clear. That was my high-risk screening doctor, and she said all good, so that's very great news. It's a good day. So next steps, meeting with the breast surgeon, meeting with the gynecology oncologist, that's both of those are in 2 weeks, and then going to the dermatologist, which is not until June. If you have watched this whole vlog, I appreciate you. Feel free to leave any questions you have for me in the comments. I'm definitely not looking for like pity or anything. I just felt a lot of comfort from binging vlogs similar to this one, so I wanted to share my own experience to put more content like this out there for anybody else who looks forward to those kinds of things and likes to escape through those kinds of videos of information and experiences. So that's the reason I'm putting this out here. If you want to see more of this journey that I'm going to be on, then feel free to subscribe. I'm going to keep everything on this channel, even though it's not teaching content, but inevitably this is my life, and it does affect my teaching because I've already had to take 3 days off work for these appointments, which is the one thing that stinks because their offices are open during school hours. So not ideal, but if you watched this whole video, I appreciate you, and I hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are.